Welcome back to Dishonored 2. Now we are on our way into the conservatory itself. And I have a very particular way of going about this mission.
The conservatory. I wanted to visit this place with Wyman.
Poor Lucinda. She wanted to raise the heart briar, but cannot. After trying to make grave hounds for weeks, she gave up. You should have seen the twisted things she made. All snouts and teeth and tail.
No, I don't want to play with you. This place is full of witches. And witches, as you know, are not good.
Just before Delilah came to Karnaca, I wanted to know what it was.
Open this hatch. The elevator is down there. And we want to go up here.
I've heard the same stories about Paolo the Howler.
What you've heard about
Grab
Paolo
all of these
is not
things.
the same. He's a street orphan, full of tricks. But I have faith Delilah could do such a thing.
Coming back? It doesn't seem possible. That's all.
My dear Orlando, some people see doors where you and I only see walls.
Found a black bone charm. Solid landing. Falling from a significant height creates a shockwave on impact, affecting nearby enemies and objects. We don't need that. There's a book here, The Foreign Curse, written and researched by Tabitha Alba. The Great Rat Plague, The Spreading Death, The Foreign Curse. These are the names we give to the disease that bloomed briefly, taking tens of thousands of lives as it spread across Crystal from home to home, town to town, preferring neither rich nor poor. The capital city of Dunwall suffered the most, settled so thickly by both people and rats. Many feared the plague would spread to Serkonos, but even beyond the naval blockade affected at the time, several factors kept the sickness from reaching our shores. First, in Serkonos, the population of disease-carrying rats was kept in check by bloodflies. Natural enemies, rats are known to feed on bloodfly larvae, and fully mature bloodflies lay their eggs in rats. Second, it is simply true that Serkonans are healthier than most. With the best foods, morning constitutionals, and a strong work ethic, we have some immunity to diseases that afflict less vibrant folk. Lastly, mining dust was found in trace amounts in Serkonos even during the time of Dunwall's great crisis, and thus that dust played a critical role. It's true that the plague was spread by rats, but some natural philosophers now believe that it was also carried on wind currents. As such, we can be thankful that in addition to bringing us wealth from silver, the mines also protected us from the greatest plague in living memory. It's a peculiar way of looking at it, I suppose.
She's Delilah's favorite. She can't know that. For all I...
But this place is infested with witches. But there is a very, very quick and simple way to do this level. The Silver Spike, genius inventor, can barely recall his own name. Kirin Jindosh loses his smarts in a bold experiment gone wrong. You know him as the grand inventor, the genius of our time. But that was before his latest experiment went somehow wrong, leaving the man a blubbering shell of his former self. Scandalous, but true. Servants are gleefully coming forward with stories of the once great inventor now barely able to navigate from room to room. One woman claims that Jindosh is now unable to determine which way to turn a simple bolt. Everyone knows it's righty-tighty, she said. Another wondered openly whether Jindosh may have been using his pupils' ideas all along, faking his genius to gain reputation. Allegedly a cruel employer, sadistic in his dismissal of his staff's basic needs, there is one curious turn in this story. Those closest to the inventor claim that he is now gentle as a lamb. Isn't that nice?
Breanna, what happened to Jindosh? I'm told he's a gibbering idiot now.
These odd lenses might be linked to what Ashworth is working on.
Yeah, it's a loss, but I doubt he had anything more to give us.
Sokolov was taken away as well.
Who would want that ancient fool? Never mind. How goes the communion? I am hungry to whisper into the ears of the oracular sisters.
My influence grows. Last night, I walked through a dream with one of them, and we drank from a fountain in the town where she was born.
Vice Overseer Burns' suspicions were right.
Which won't affect things.
No. He continued to take away the lenses, thicker, thinner, more opaque. It was tiresome to watch. I still have the old lenses and cast-off parts piled in my workshop, but Jindosh finished some time ago. The rest is up to me, learning to use the machine. A tricky thing, touching the void through such a device.
Blood and biscuits. I look forward to using it myself once you're ready.
Will you visit soon?
Perhaps. Dunwall Tower is mostly in hand. The High Overseer won't be a problem anymore. And there's the matter of my own project. I grow more excited with each brushstroke. When I come to Karnaca, we'll drink an ocean of good wine and stay tight as a boiled owl. I look forward to it. For now, I need your eyes on the Duke. At least until we have the sisters under control. There's no one else I trust. I'll reach out to you again on the morrow. Farewell.
Goodbye, Delilah, my Empress.
So, yeah. Now...
A corpse? What in the world?
What? I haven't left any corpses around. What are you talking about? Must be one of your own corpses.
She sees what I can do with a bit of cat fur and a bone from a drowned man's leg.
Need to go down there. And then over on this one. Something is seeing us.
One of the dunderheads from the oracular order.
One of the dogs.
I keep it in my chambers.
You have bizarre taste, my dear Clarissa. I wouldn't want to see myself like that. I'd rather have my portrait painted by Delilah.
There's a quality to Breanna's style I prefer. Touched by something from deep down in the mud where there's no light. The endless womb and the cold, dead grave. Both the same.
But Breanna's effigies let her reach into the mind, into the heart.
That wasn't it.
Wouldn't you be afraid she'd influence your dreams? Like she's going to do to the
Okay, I
sisters
need to
of Breanna?
save.
That's part of the thrill, sister.
And I need to link. And take out these three. And the two witches up there, they are problematic. I will save and then I will do what I need to do, but if they die, which they might, I'll have to reload. quick way of doing this mission is simply to install...
Gosh, was tiresome. How does this even work?
There we go. And then... boom.
What will I do now? I'm ruined. That feeling. The things I could do. The touch of the void. Delilah. It was everything I had. Leave me be.
We failed in one, but nobody died. Now, what is very nice about what just happened is that all of the witches and all of the dogs in this conservatory, they just fainted. So now we can just roam around and take one floor at a time. Pindo's Passage. Shira Pirate Coves. Lucky Svalorite. Tivian Ore. Silver Sextant. Book 1 of that journey of his. Now in this room there is a statue of Delilah. So we'll move around carefully. Unfinished letter to Delilah. Delilah, when we can't talk, I write. There are things only you will understand. Daily, I feel my connection to the void growing, and through me, your power calls out to those who would join our coven. New faces, new voices. Our bond is stronger than it was at Brigmore, yet you feel so far away. If we were together, I could say more. It is as if I can see beyond the air into another time or place. You have parted a curtain I never knew was there. Oh, Delilah, strange and beautiful whispers are carried on the breeze. I am forever grateful of being your instrument. Done straightening up. Straightening up. I mean, Mistress Breanna, like you asked, I stored your audiograph recordings in the archive down there in the basement, and I tidied up around the oraculum, just as you asked. Some of the others were talking about the old lenses you took out of that oraculum device after the accident, saying they were going to bury them lenses forever at the bottom of the ocean. Well, that didn't sound right to me, so I just stored them in the effigies workshop in case you find them some use. All of my other chores are done, so I'll go prepare your leche thistle tea. I'm grateful for the second chance you've given me. I'm sure over time I'll feel Delilah's presence and learn the magic like my coven sisters. Please don't cast me out. I'll make you and Empress Delilah proud, I promise. Karina.
Ashworth's journal might tell me more about why Delilah can't be killed.
Proposal from Curator Hayden. To Breanna Ashworth, Curator of the Royal Conservatory. Although we have never met, we share occupations, overseeing cultural artifacts and historical oddities, you in Sarkonos and me in Morley. I have heard much about you and have long admired the stories regarding your exhibits. To the matter at hand, I propose an artistic exchange. At the Morley Gallery of History and Sculpture we have works by many of the greats, including Anton Sokolov himself. Additionally, we have many unearthed items unearthed items of a much unusual quality, which will never fail to amuse and bewilder the public. But we would like to broaden our coverage. To that end, would you be interested in an exchange? I am particularly eager to get my hands on some of your own works and your conservatory's collection mechanized fauna. In high hopes, Finley Hayden, Curator, Morley Gallery of History and Sculpture. Think there's anything of interest in here. My fires burn within Breanna's marrow. And here's the collectible item for the ship, or broken whalebone sword. I think there's anything of interest in here. We have a black bone charm, expansive spirit. Maximum mana is increased. Well, that's interesting. Black bone charm notes. 5th. I've set out to craft a new bone charm, and I hope to have it blacken in keeping with those of greater power. It will complement the one I've carried since finding it within a mausoleum in Alba. Though it's rare to meet others touched by the void, summoners beware, for as long as I carry that bone charm, their rats and vermin will turn against them. And the new charm, if it works, will shield me against assassins. 11th. I am still working on my protective charm. I've taken the Tivian grey bone recipe and altered it, using much more burdock root. The instructions were vague and the safeguards it offers are weak. 18th. Neither chamomile nor nasturtiums added to the mix give me the right effect. Though they perfume the air quite nicely, I feel well protected from unpleasant smells, but not much else. 23rd. I've finally got it. Hellebore, of course, fermented and reduced over a low flame. It's rare to achieve this effect where the bone charm turns darkest black. As I wanted, I'm warded against the first bullet or bolt from an assassin's weapon. The initial shot that would fell me will instead change to blood flies in an instant. So that is useful knowledge in if you want to take out Breanna in the more bloody manner, shall we say? Only flower pots in here. The witches seem to be quite dependent upon pigment for their rituals and whatnot. Tivian ore, processed whale oil, a hand in a vice, some raw whalebone.
I meant nothing to my fine family, beyond an advantageous marriage and years of childbearing. They promised me to a man 3 times my age who wheezed on about our wedding night. But a curious thing happened on the way to the altar, Delilah. From the first time I slipped out of the manor in the dead of night, there was no returning to my cage. Looking at the stars and drinking wine on a rooftop, I was free. Instead of seeing the overseers for marriage, I visited my father's banker and raced away from my old life toward Delilah. Those were the Coven's glory days.
That's back from when we were at the Brigmore Manor. Breanna Ashworth's notes. The original lenses Jindosh and I devised for the Oraculum were horribly flawed. Rather than focusing the energies of the void, the faulty lenses scattered them. My head was filled with noise, and the spiritual channel linking me to Delilah's magic was nearly extinguished. I will not cease my efforts until our coven controls the Sisters of the Oracular Order. But I know now that I proceeded grave risk. The old lenses could have been my ruin. They are stored in my workshop for now, but must be destroyed. Too bad she didn't destroy them before we came around. Sleep darts. Processed whale oil. Maya solution. We are already full on that. My effigies of the Oracular Sisters. Those were the skeletons you saw around the device. Yeah, other nasty things. 4th day. It's been difficult to create effigies of the Oracular Sisters. They keep to themselves, rarely venturing outside. Impossible to get the hair and nail clippings I need. But I have an idea. If the sisters are linked even beyond death, then I can use the bones of their dead, dug from an abbey graveyard, to attune the oraculum to the minds of living sisters. 12th day. It's done. Adolfina and several others brought back a wagon full of coffins. I'll start on new effigies at once. 19th day. Still only faint voices, nothing near the connection required to give them dreams. I must adjust the lenses, refine the effigies, sleep with their skulls beneath my blankets for a few nights more. Perhaps integrate the scarves they use to cover their eyes. Ugh. 21st day. Delilah is anxious about my progress, and yet there's not much to tell. I was able to interrupt several oracular sisters in conversation, leaving them momentarily at a loss for words. I am confident that soon enough I'll be able to make them say whatever I wish. Then I'll have news for my Empress in Dunwall. 23rd day. At last! I held one of the sisters in a trance-like state for an hour. Delilah was ecstatic. Soon we will control the Oracular Order. I think that's it for up here. Oh, a wire. Then of course there is a small matter of out here. A rune. Sleep dart we don't need. Oh god, so much light. I don't think there's anything else of interest. It's an interesting spot to put a whale oil tank. Ah yes, this very clever way of killing witches down in the courtyard. There is one there, for instance. If I were to cut that thing, probably kill her. This room we can only access this way, so let's go down in that room. Know if there's anything of interest here. Nice painting. No, the room seems rather devoid of anything of interest. Guess it's just a way of getting up there. I'm amused that they've closed off a room in the conservatory because of blood flies. This is another way of getting into the room with the lenses, though. Okay, let's save the game and hear what Delilah has to say.
As if you could ever hide your face from me, Emily. Little Black Sparrow, reprieve from your cage at last.
It's done. Breanna Ashworth is no longer a witch.
You villain! You don't even know what you've done. A great bloom wilts and fades from the world.
Delilah, I will take apart everything you've built until I have what's mine.
Oh, Breanna. I don't believe we will speak again. The thought of seeing you reduced to such a pale, sad thing. It's too much to bear. I hate you for this, child.
I'm not only going to restore things to the way they were, I'm going to make them better.
Don't know if that gives us... No, we haven't been spotted by enemies. I'll quick load just for safe measure though. Close the door. And now we're in the 3rd floor.
What would you and Father advise if you were both here? Sometimes I dream we're all together again.
It's rather unnecessary, ruining a nice painting of Emily Kaldwin. Ah, those two were just transported over here. It's useful. It's quite risky taking them out, because they usually just fall down and die. Bloodflies, on the other hand. Doesn't seem to be anything alive in there, so might as well just do it like that. Are you coming from a nest? Yes, you are. Let's get rid of that. The blood amber. And now we can take a look at these rooms. Magoli Forest Plateau. Map of Karnaca. We're in the Syria Gardens. The Royal Conservatory is here. This is rather gruesome. Here we have some flying things, including a bone charm, falling star, drop assassination, restores some mana, pile of corpses. Pour the gin over the sugar and stir. Add the ice and grate nutmeg over the top. Serve in a short glass. We'll make it hot instead if you prefer and if we like you. Gin, 2 ounces cane sugar, a small spoon ice, a handful nutmeg, fresh. Should be another... I think that's the final one. Oh no, don't you dare. There we go. There's a rune, a dead guard, and a very dead person. These witches had curious entertainment. Unconscious witches. Dried bloodfly husk. Raw whalebone. And some offices with some rats. Another person who is dead. Dried bloodfly husk. Silver egg. Is that all? There's a book here. Our Natural Philosophers by Kenneth Obenshaw. There is always a cure. The question is, what are you willing to sacrifice to have it? I might have read these before, but anyways. When Anton Sokolov spoke those words, Bristol was battling the worst plague in a century. Hospitals were overwhelmed and the citizens panicked. Eventually, a cure was found thanks to the work of Sokolov and Pierrot Joplin, but that cure came at a terrible price. In his quest for a remedy, Sokolov needed infected individuals who were rounded up and given experimental serums so their reactions might be observed. The plague was horrific enough, but these serums brought on dire symptoms of their own. Blood became as if stone in one patient, in another bones dissolved beneath the skin. The dreadful cries, it is said, were enough to drive a sane person mad. Still, progress was made, according to Sokolov. Alas, it was not enough to test only the sick. For reasons perhaps only a natural philosopher might understand, it was also essential to administer these serums to healthy individuals. Citizens jailed for petty crimes were thrown into cells and injected with Sokolov's experimental serums. Most of these formerly healthy persons perished, of course. Officially, they were all victims of the plague, sacrificed for a cure and buried in communal graves. So even the good guys are bad. Huh. Angelfish scales. Then there's this thing, which is rather heavily guarded. Security room key. Not that I needed that. Let's not do that. There we go. I meant to do that, not activate the device. And that would probably have alerted all the witches in the building. So then we have the Roseboro prototype. I don't think there's anything of interest here, but petty vandalism always amuse everyone, doesn't it? And our dear Breanna Ashworth. And here are these effigies that I was talking about. Quite gruesome. I'll just leave her alone. Newspaper on the divided oracular order we have read before. So let's go out here. I think that's the second floor done. Now let's do the first floor. Some coins in the cash register. Oh, quiet cash registers. Here's another way in. You come from the courtyard. First time I was in this building, I went into the basement, which took quite some time. A few coins on the floor beneath this poor man. Probably the janitor or something. Here's a lecture room, it would seem. More blood flies down there. It's a restroom with an unfortunate person inside. Nothing else of interest. Processed whale oil, that is of interest. I don't think we're gonna do anything to that container. Oh, it's empty, but still. That's stun mines, I believe. Yep. We fill up on those though. A whale oil tank. Triggered housing blueprint. Grenades. Sokolov technology and the New Age. I'm very certain we've read that before. And a wall of light. It's a very random place for a wall of light. Anything else of interest here? Don't think so. There's just the basement left. Which of course is full of blood flies, but we have some flammable bottles readily available. However, we need to be very careful here because I distinctly remember that there are witches unconscious on the floor around the blood flies. One does wonder how they survived in all this. Maybe the blood flies don't like witches. I don't remember if there are more of them. That's the Andyssian Continent Reflection book. Dead Wolfhound. Okay, so then it's this room, which you can get into if you don't have the key, by going here. And then you can shove this bookshelf. A rune, you can drink a health elixir, and then there's this one.
After Delilah fell to the assassin Dowd, her magic was lost, and the coven scattered. I made a new life in Karnaca. Then I heard her whispering from the void, leading me to the Duke, who heard those same whispers. Together we worked to bring Delilah back into the world, changing the Empire from the home of Aramis Stilton 3 years ago. Across the Isles, all of us who'd been with her at Brigmore and before, we felt the magic return. Others joined. New faces, new blood. Now, Delilah is immortal. Forever. She holds Dunwall, and we've turned to corrupting the oracular order. The Overseers take guidance from their prophetic sisters, and soon we'll influence their dreams and visions.
Yes. So there's a painting here. Her heart I bathed in poison. And some pied avocet feathers. No idea where that leads to. Probably to this one. I don't think there's anything else of interest here. The elevator should work. Indeed it does. That's a big turtle. Thing of interest behind there. Where are you? There's a dead guy. That's probably our friend. Yes, breaking and entering job. Use cliffside outside office window to get over fence. Drop down and enter basement through delivery door. Special display is on second floor. Enter through security room. Grab Roseboro prototype. Don't forget to disable alarm. See money. Yes, it was, wasn't it? Stinging bolts. The place has plenty of chloroform bottles and stuff like that that you can use to take out witches if you need. But I find that the way that I use now, just getting up to the lenses as quickly as possible and then just taking out the entirety of the place all at once is the most useful way of doing it. Bone charm here, rewire tool. Also get into this room from the courtyard. Conservatory closure extended newspaper. The 4th book of the Pendician continent that we've already read. And this is the door where you come into from the sewer. Well, you guys can just stay in there. Or we can do this. No, they are stuck in the wall. You can get in through here. This is the one of the entrances I showed you from the fountain. Ah, I knew there was a copper wire here. Nothing else of interest though, I think. Okay, then we have the storage room, or the custodian's room. I don't think there's anything here. Nope. Useful place to store corpses or unconscious witches though. There are plenty of them here. She's dead. That's not good. We didn't get any kills though. So I have no idea. Okay, well, we are done here. Might be something. Nope. Don't think there's anything down here either. This is just one of the the entrances on the sides, which you can't enter from outside anyways, as you would need the key. Not even a key would help you though. Now guards will have spawned somewhere. I don't remember where. Do know that they are in the main courtyard, but I'm not sure if they are actually here. They are definitely here because I can hear one of them whistle. Yep, 2 of them. 3. Guess we can take them out. Let's try this new mesmerize thing.
I see things, huh? Wait. Go anywhere after all. There's something comforting about this.
So that guy passed out. Don't know if they have any loot. That guy's empty. This guy only had the sleep dart. That guy didn't have anything either. Going through here is another way of getting into the district. These windows are openable. And yes, there are also guards down there now.
I feel so bad. I haven't seen the kids in 2 years.
What the void?
Now
Am I seeing things?
my A's and Z's. Tell me what you think
It
of
looks
me.
familiar somehow.
Do you see me?
It's saying something.
Come on.
There you are.
I think that's it. Are there anything to loot in the windows of these shops here? No. Then we just need to go back to the shopkeeper. Deliver his precious
Come in, my
prototype.
friend. Welcome back.
I see you found the prototype.
Your acquaintance didn't make it.
It is a risky line of work, I'm afraid, but let's not dwell. I expect you'll be interested in payment. First your finder's fee, of course, and if you like, I can draw up some schematics based on the prototype, something you can use to modify your tools. And as a token of my appreciation, a discount at the shop.
A fair deal.
Perfect.
What a pleasant surprise to see you again.
So
See, I have some upgrade plans for your gear.
yeah, but I'm not sure I want them. We do want to be able to buy incendiary bolts.
Excellent choice.
Can probably also upgrade to combustion bolt.
I'm certain you will be satisfied with your purchase.
Wonder what this is.
It's a pleasure to have such a unique young lady in our store.
Yes, isn't it? Let's take that one as well then.
No need to wrap it for you, I suppose.
No. Fine. We need to buy some incendiary bolts. Guess we can purchase the rune as well. But other than that, we should be fine.
But again soon.
No, I'm leaving, but thank you for the offer.
So it's done.
Ashworth won't be a problem anymore.
Good. But Emily, there's something else. Back when I lived in Dunwall, I did things that I'm not proud of.
Isn't that a requirement for citizenship?
What I've got to say is not a joke. I knew Delilah and Ashworth. Bought into their bullshit. Which led me down a bad road. To be honest, before all this, I thought Delilah dead. I don't want to get into it right now. But I felt like you should know. There are things I regret.
All right, Megan. Thank you for opening up. If only a little.
I'm starting to feel like you deserve it. Are you ready to leave now?
Note of curiosity there. She would not have told me that if I were playing on High Chaos. Let's go.
Let's go. Take me back to the Dreadful Whale.
Another step toward the Duke of Serkonos and Delilah.
So apparently the witch that died in the courtyard were not counted as a death, which is good. We didn't get 2 bone charms, and we also didn't get a blueprint. Interesting. But that's fine. Let's move on.
For several years, Delilah's been here, getting stronger, turning people against me. Why didn't I see it coming? What was I doing during that time? Pretending to listen at court, ruling through an army of bureaucrats, waiting for the next chance to get free of Dunwall Tower. Well, now I'm free. If only I could go back. Aramis Stilton was once an ally of the Duke, the owner of Karnaka's mines. Stilton lived in a fortified bunker at the heart of the Dust District. No one's seen him for years, since around the time Delilah started making her moves. But whether Stilton's alive or dead, his home holds the key to Delilah's immortality.
That, however, will be for the next episode. As you can see, we now have the whalebone sword, in our collection of trophies. But for now, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all next time.